Have you ever noticed that one simple sentence from a woman can stay in a man's mind for days, while 100 beautiful photos are forgotten in minutes? The truth is shocking. Men do not always remember the most attractive face, but they almost always remember the woman who knew exactly what to say. Words are invisible, yet they can control attention, create desire, build mystery, and make a man think about you long after the conversation ends. Most people believe attraction is only about beauty, but power has never belonged only to beauty. Power belongs to the person who understands the human mind. Niccolo Machiavelli believed that people are often guided more by emotion than logic. A person who understands emotions can influence actions without force. This does not mean manipulation or deception. It means understanding what naturally captures attention. Today you will discover 13 lines that many men secretly enjoy hearing and, more importantly, why these lines work on the male mind. These are not magic spells. They only work when they come with honesty, confidence, and the right moment. If the feeling is fake, the words lose their strength. But when the emotion is real, even the simplest sentence can become unforgettable. The first thing many women never realize is that men often want appreciation more than perfection. Society teaches men to stay strong, hide fear, solve problems, and keep moving forward. Because of this, many men rarely hear words that make them feel seen instead of judged. A simple sentence can become powerful because it gives something that is usually missing. The first line is, "I feel safe when I'm with you." This sentence is powerful because it speaks directly to a man's natural desire to protect the people he cares about. Notice that it does not praise his money, his appearance, or his social status. It praises his presence. There is a huge difference. A man can lose wealth. He can lose success. But knowing that someone trusts him creates a deeper emotional connection. It tells him that his character matters. Of course, this sentence should only be used if it is true. Real trust cannot be acted. People sense honesty more than they realize. The second line is, "I love how your mind works." Many people receive compliments about how they look. Very few receive compliments about how they think. This sentence tells a man that his ideas have value. It shows respect for his intelligence, creativity, or problem-solving ability. Machiavelli understood that people naturally want recognition. They want to believe that their abilities matter. When someone notices the way a man thinks, instead of only the way he looks, he often feels understood on a deeper level. That feeling creates emotional attraction, because understanding is much rarer than admiration. The third line is, "You always make me laugh." Laughter is much more important than many people think. When someone connects your presence with positive emotions, your value in their mind increases. Human memory works through emotion. A person who creates joy is remembered longer than a person who simply looks impressive. This sentence tells a man that being around him changes your emotional state in a positive way. Instead of saying he is funny, it tells him that he brings happiness into your life. That difference is small in words, but huge in meaning. Now think about something interesting. Have you ever noticed that people chase those who make them feel alive, rather than those who simply look perfect? Attraction is rarely built by logic alone. Emotion leaves the deeper mark. This is why conversations often matter more than appearances after the first impression disappears. The fourth line is, "I miss talking to you." Notice what makes this sentence special. It does not say, "I missed your gifts" or "I missed what you did for me." It says that his conversation has value. This makes him feel that his presence cannot easily be replaced. Every human being wants to feel unique. Machiavelli observed that people naturally desire importance. When someone feels that their absence has been noticed, their emotional investment often grows. The key here is sincerity. Empty words lose their power very quickly. The fifth line is, "You inspire me." This is different from saying, "You impress me." Inspiration reaches much deeper. Being impressive can come from money, success, or appearance. Inspiration comes from character, discipline, courage, or vision. A man who hears that he inspires someone often feels respected rather than simply admired. Respect is one of the strongest emotional needs many men carry throughout life. It tells him that his actions create positive influence beyond himself. Here is something Machiavelli understood centuries ago. People do not simply want to be liked. They want to matter. They want their existence to leave a mark on someone else's life. When your words communicate that feeling honestly, they become memorable because they satisfy an emotional need that is rarely spoken about openly. The sixth line is, I can be myself around you. This sentence quietly communicates trust, comfort, and emotional safety. It suggests that there is no need to wear a mask. In today's world, many people constantly worry about being judged. They carefully choose their words, hide their weaknesses, and protect their image. Hearing that someone feels free to be authentic around them gives a man a sense of emotional success that money cannot buy. It tells him that his presence creates peace instead of pressure. There is another reason this works. Confidence attracts, but comfort keeps people close. Excitement may begin a relation, yet emotional safety often helps it grow. People return to places where they feel accepted. The same rule applies to relationships. Words that communicate acceptance create stronger emotional roots than endless compliments about appearance. Many people believe attraction is built by saying bigger things. In reality, attraction often grows through simple sentences delivered at the right moment. Timing gives words their strength. A sincere sentence after a difficult day can mean more than an expensive gift. A quiet compliment during an ordinary conversation can stay in someone's memory for years because it arrived when it was least expected. Machiavelli often focused on understanding human nature instead of fighting against it. Human beings crave appreciation, respect, trust, and significance. When these needs are met honestly, emotional connection becomes stronger without force. The greatest influence rarely comes from loud speeches. It usually comes from small moments that make another person feel valued. The seventh line is, I admire your confidence. Confidence is one of the qualities that many people find attractive because it represents inner strength. But there is an important difference between real confidence and arrogance. Real confidence comes from knowing your own value without needing to prove it constantly. When a woman notices this quality in a man, it can create a powerful emotional response because she is recognizing something deeper than appearance. She is recognizing his mindset, his attitude, and the way he carries himself. Machiavelli understood that perception plays a major role in human relationships. People are influenced by what they believe about themselves and what others reflect back to them. When someone sincerely recognizes a positive quality, that recognition can strengthen the connection between two people. The sentence, I admire your confidence, tells a man that his presence has an impact. It tells him that something about the way he moves through life has been noticed. The eighth line is, I love the way you handle things. This sentence connects with a man's desire to feel capable. Many men grow up with the belief that they should solve problems, protect others, and stay calm during challenges. Whether this belief is always fair or not, it is a feeling many men experience. When a woman notices his ability to handle situations, it can make him feel respected. The power of this sentence is not about making someone feel superior. It is about recognizing effort. Everyone wants their efforts to be seen. A person who feels appreciated is naturally more open and emotionally connected. The human mind remembers the person who notices what others ignore. The ninth line is, you have a different way of seeing things. This sentence creates curiosity. It tells a man that his perspective is unique. Humans naturally value uniqueness because being ordinary often feels invisible. When someone tells you that your way of thinking is different, it creates a feeling of being understood and recognized. But the deeper lesson is this: never use words only to create an effect. The strongest influence comes when you actually observe something meaningful about another person. A fake compliment may create a temporary reaction, but a genuine observation creates trust. Trust is the foundation of any strong connection. The 10th line is, I feel like I can trust you. Trust is one of the strongest emotional bonds between two people. Without trust, attraction becomes unstable. With trust, even simple conversations become meaningful. This sentence carries weight because trust is not something people give easily. When someone says they trust you, they are giving a form of emotional respect. Machiavelli wrote about power, but one of the greatest forms of power in human relationships is being someone others feel comfortable with. Fear may control for a short time, but trust creates loyalty. A person who creates trust often becomes more valuable in another person's mind. The 11th line is, "I like the way you make me feel." This sentence works because emotions are connected to memories. People often forget exact conversations, but they remember how someone made them feel. A person who creates happiness, peace, excitement, or comfort becomes associated with those emotions. However, this line should not be used as a way to create dependence or control. Healthy attraction comes from two people adding value to each other's lives, not from one person becoming responsible for another person's happiness. The strongest connections are built by choice, not need. The 12th line is, "I respect you." These three words may sound simple, but they carry enormous meaning. Respect is often the hidden foundation behind attraction. Without respect, attraction can disappear quickly. Respect means seeing another person as valuable, capable, and worthy. Many people focus only on romance and forget the importance of admiration. A relationship without respect becomes weak because emotional connection needs a strong foundation. When someone feels respected, they usually feel more comfortable showing their true personality. The 13th line is, "I love spending time with you." This sentence communicates something powerful. It says that his company itself has value. It is not about what he provides or what he achieves. It is about who he is when he is simply present. In a world where many people feel like they must constantly perform to be accepted, knowing that someone enjoys your presence can be deeply meaningful. It creates a feeling of belonging. People naturally move toward those who make them feel appreciated and accepted. But the greatest lesson behind all these lines is not the words themselves. The real power comes from understanding human nature. Machiavelli studied how people think, what motivates them, and what influences their choices. The same principles can be applied to communication. The person who understands emotions communicates better than the person who only speaks more. A sentence becomes powerful when it matches reality. Saying "I trust you" without trust creates confusion. Saying "I admire you" without admiration feels empty. Words are tools, but intention gives those tools meaning. The most attractive people are not always those who say the perfect things. They are the ones who understand timing, emotion, and authenticity. They know that people want to feel noticed. They know that appreciation can create connection. They know that confidence is not about controlling others, but about understanding themselves. There is a hidden strategy in every meaningful conversation. Listen first. Observe carefully. Speak with purpose. Many people talk because they want attention, but powerful communicators speak because they want connection. This difference changes everything. A person who understands human psychology does not need to chase approval. They create an environment where both people feel valued. They do not use words as weapons. They use words as bridges. The ancient world often focused on power over others, but true social intelligence is different. True influence comes from understanding, respect, and emotional awareness. The strongest person in any conversation is often the one who can make another person feel understood. Attraction is not a game where one person wins and another loses. It is a human connection where two people recognize value in each other. The right words simply reveal what is already there. The final lesson is simple. Never underestimate the power of a sincere sentence. A few honest words can create a memory, strengthen a bond, and change the way someone sees you. But the words only work when they come from genuine understanding. Because in the end, the mind remembers the person who made it feel important. The deepest lesson behind powerful communication is that attraction is not created by words alone. Words are only the doorway. The real force comes from the emotion behind those words. A person can repeat the same sentence, but if the feeling is missing, the impact disappears. The human mind is designed to search for authenticity. It can often sense when someone is simply trying to create an effect, and when someone is truly expressing what they feel. Machiavelli studied human behavior by observing desires, fears, ambitions, and emotions. He understood that people are not moved only by facts. They are moved by meanings. A simple sentence can become powerful because of what it represents. I trust you is not just 3 words. It represents belief. I admire you is not just a compliment. It represents recognition. I enjoy being with you is not just a statement. It represents acceptance. This is why communication is one of the strongest forms of influence. The person who understands emotions can create deeper connections because they understand what people truly value. Many people try to impress others by showing what they have. They show success, status, or achievements. But the person who knows human nature understands something more important. People remember how you make them feel. A man may forget a perfect outfit, an expensive gift, or a dramatic moment, but he often remembers the person who made him feel respected, appreciated, and understood. This is the hidden power of meaningful words. There is another important principle. Mystery creates curiosity, but emotional safety creates connection. A person can become interesting because they are unpredictable, but they become unforgettable because they create trust. The strongest relationships are not built only on excitement. They are built on a balance of attraction and comfort. Many people misunderstand confidence. They think confidence means always appearing perfect. But real confidence is the ability to communicate honestly, without fear of rejection. A confident person does not need to perform. They simply express what is true. This is why simple sentences often have more power than complicated ones. When someone says, I enjoy your company, they are not trying to create a performance. They are simply sharing appreciation. That honesty creates a stronger emotional effect than exaggerated praise. The wise communicator understands timing. The same words can have different meanings, depending on the moment. A compliment given when someone needs encouragement can become unforgettable. A supportive sentence during a difficult time can create a bond that lasts for years. Machiavelli believed that understanding human nature gives a person an advantage. In modern life, this means understanding emotions, communication, and relationships. It means knowing that every person has a desire to be seen. Everyone wants to feel that their presence matters. The 13 lines discussed are powerful because they touch universal human needs. The need to feel respected, the need to feel appreciated, the need to feel trusted, the need to feel understood, the need to feel valued. These needs are not limited to men or women. They are human. The reason these sentences can create attraction is because they connect with something deeper than appearance. They connect with identity. A person who says the right words at the right time is not powerful because they control another person's emotions. They are powerful because they understand emotions. There is a difference between influence and manipulation. Influence creates connection. Manipulation destroys trust. The strongest relationships are built when both people feel valued. A woman who understands how to communicate appreciation can create a stronger bond. A man who understands the same principles can do the same. The goal is not to control another person. The goal is to understand each other better. Remember this final principle. People are attracted to those who recognize their value. Not because everyone needs constant praise, but because everyone wants to know that they matter to someone. The world is full of people trying to be noticed. Very few people focus on making others feel noticed. That is where true social power exists. The person who listens carefully, speaks sincerely, and understands emotions will always have an advantage in human relationships. They do not need tricks. They do not need fake confidence. They do not need to pretend. They simply understand one timeless truth about human nature. Behind every strong personality is a desire to be appreciated. Behind every confident person is a desire to be understood. Behind every heart is a need to feel valued. Use words carefully, because words create worlds inside the minds of others. A single sentence can create distance, or it can create connection. A single sentence can be forgotten, or it can become a memory. The art of communication is the art of understanding people. And the person who understands people understands one of the greatest forms of power. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about human psychology and communication, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may find it valuable. Your comments matter, so tell us your thoughts below. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, understanding people is one of the greatest forms of power.